Alright, I'm live on air. Uh, so I'm operating from a I'm off operating from my desktop computer. Or not my desktop, but yes, actually my desktop computer, not my laptop. Sorry if I'm getting that confused again or not, but yeah, I'm operating from my desktop computer and it's a lot more better. It's a lot more quieter and cleaner. And if I was doing my hangouts at my laptop, I would guarantee you that you would hear a loud buzzing noise all the time because that old laptop, despite the fact it does the majority of all the editing and stuff, has a really loud fan that I've yet to find a replacement for. So I'm hoping in the next month, if I can finally find the free time, I can move all the editing software to the desktop computer because it's actually a lot more fucking quieter, which I actually appreciate. I really do. Oh well. Either way, I'll open up the laptop, so I'm going to mute myself just in case if the buzzing happens again. And I'll routinely check Twitter and make sure that I'm not missing any opportunities to answer any potential questions for people. There we are. And we've got our first listener. We have David Lass. And he's basically saying, "What are you talking about?" Well, taco madness with a dash of insanity, really. Basically, it's just a random topic, really. Anybody can talk about really anything on these hangouts. I do every now and then. And the only time when they're guided is when I'm upset or I'm pissed off at other people. But yeah, those are usually the times when my hangouts are guided. But I guess the random topic for today is I just got myself a new overlay from a friend of mine, so kudos to him. So I'll be using that nice overlay of my character on video from now on. I'm hoping. Now I've already tested out the Adobe Premiere 14 Elements program, and yes, it's able to use overlays, but it takes longer for it to render, which is totally fine by me. I can click the render button and while I'm sleeping, and basically by the time it's morning or I set a timer for like an hour, the whole thing will be done, and all I have to do is upload it on YouTube or wherever. Now, you may have to forgive me. I may have to mute myself for 10 seconds because I have to open up my laptop, which has an incredibly annoying fan that I've yet to find a way to replace. And the only reason why I'm opening up the laptop is to figure out, okay, are people messaging me on Twitter to hop on the Hangout or not? So, and also to keep in mind, I'm testing this new mic. So just in case if people hop on in and I can't hear them or they can't hear me, please keep in mind that this is a new headset. So I don't know if they can hear me if they're on this Hangouts. I definitely know people can hear me when they're not on my Hangouts, but it lately I've been having issues with this mic. But anyways, I'll mute myself for 2 minutes at least. Huh. My laptop's actually open and it's not making that obnoxious, weird, and loud noise like it always does. Huh. I guess I'll keep myself not muted for at least until at least until that buzzing starts. But I'm just checking Twitter and nope, nobody wants in yet. Oh well, it makes no difference to me either way. It really doesn't. Let me copy the link to. to watch. I'm keeping an eye on Twitter at the same time, and I have a very weird setup where I have all the editing stuff being done on my laptop, literally, and I've been needing to move it over to my desktop because my desktop has a far more powerful engine for it. And I need to set up Twitter on the desktop as well because for some reason it never cooperates with Twitter. It literally just doesn't. It doesn't like Twitter to the extent of if I ever open Twitter on my desktop computer, it will freeze, literally freeze for 5 minutes. And after it's done freezing, it the whole thing boots me out. And I can't even link up the desktop computer to my Twitter. And the only way I can get on my Twitter is through my darn laptop that's so annoyingly loud that it just sounds like a really bad truck that's having engine failure problems. That's the situation I'm stuck on. So let's see what the chat's saying. Uh, let's see here. Move this over. There. Burrito supremes are very good, especially a little hot sauce. Yeah, I'd have to agree. You could definitely that could be discussion of the hangout as well, tacos and burritos. But generally, my hangouts are random topics. Uh, all right, found the link on my other computer. Copy. I'm just going to copy the link, then move that over to my Twitties. There we are. Post. Come on. There. Ah, that's what I'm trying to do, basically. I'm trying to entice people into joining my hangouts. It's been a while, but every now and then I do get a guest or two. If not, I can always just ramble about some random topics until, um, for a while until I eventually have it enough and just leave. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to invite people in. I also posted the link to join on, I believe, on Discord, or at least my Discord server. Now, it's official. I've decided to create a Discord server, and I found a way to make it well at the same time that nobody else can hijack the Discord server. So, yeah, I found a way. And hopefully, and hopefully that will work out in the end. Uh, this is actually surprisingly strange. Like my laptop really would sound like as if it's a dying truck engine the moment when I turn it on with a loud fan, but it's not. This is freaky. It truly is a bit freaky. Uh, Let me test out the audio. I'm gonna play back the. Yep, it's working. I just want to make sure that people could hear me. Uh, but yeah, the link's out there on my Discord, and if anybody on Twitter wants in, I'll certainly. Oh, there goes a loud noise. Give me one moment. There we are. Close it. That's the beauty of it. I before all my hangouts were done on my laptop, so I'd have to suffer through that obnoxious noise. But now I have a little bit of dignity, freedom by just closing down the laptop for once. And now the last thing I need to do is somehow set up Twitter and Discord on this desktop as well. Then and move all the editing software to this desktop, then I won't even need the laptop anymore. I'll be free from it. Mind you, I've had that laptop for almost for as long as until 2009. Oh man, that it's been a long time. I've been needing to find a new laptop, anyways. Now, I guess a random subject to talk about. A little teeny, I see. That might be from the desktop fan, but granted, with that fan, it's a lot more quieter than laptop. Trust me. The laptop fan is a lot more obnoxious. But yeah, I guess a random topic I could talk about lately is a couple things actually. First of all, I literally did woke up this morning and I didn't notice what was going on the news lately, on the internet news, and apparently a YouTube feminist person committed a murder apparently, and for the most part, I tried staying out of that whole drama because at first I felt like that I was kind of ignorant on that topic, but overall, I saw some people's response and I felt like I had to say something about it. And there's a big drama apparently going on about is it okay to make a meme about someone's death, apparently? Is that okay or not? And honestly, I take Danny the Dingo's sort of stance on it that it's not okay to make a meme about someone dying. So I fully am in agreement with Danny the Dingo. If you don't know who that guy is, he's a YouTuber on YouTube that talks about various subjects. Certainly some taboo ones, if not. Now I'm going to open up my laptop one more time. Let's just hope it doesn't make that loud noise. Yep. Give me a sec. I'll mute myself for 2 minutes. And that annoying, obnoxious fan died. Nice. Let me check everything. Oh, wrong button key. But yeah, there's a bit of a drama going on about is it okay to make a meme about someone dying or not, and I personally think it's not okay. I personally think it's just horrific for people to make a meme about someone dying, and that I just find that disgusting. And I fully take Danny Dingo's position on that. Let's see here. It's okay. You can say whatever you like. I don't care. Like anybody can say whatever words on the chat. I really don't care. There's no special rules on what you can and cannot say on the chat, so you can say whatever you like. Uh, but yeah, other than that whole bit of drama, the last time I actually had a taco was 3 weeks ago. Ironically, that was around the time when I found out some more crazy shit was going on in my family life, and oh boy, it almost seems like every time I eat a taco, something bad happens with my family, and it becomes an issue. It really does. Mm, there we go. I'm gonna post the link because I think one person wants in. I don't know if he'll ever show up or not, but this one guy's asking. Now, granted, this one guy that always asks to join on the Hangouts, he almost never hops on anyways. It's this guy named Bob the Realist MJ72. He always contacts me by Twitter, and he always wants in. And the problem is, whenever I give him the hangouts, he never shows up. Freaky. I even fixed the link problem a while back ago, and I am posting the correct link, but for some reason, he's just never shows up. Oh, hey, no potato. I'm doing a hangout about random stuff if anybody's interested. And let me know if you ever want to hop on in or anything. I'll give you the invites by whatever means necessary. Like I may just give DM you the link just in case if you want in or not. Ah, potatoes in here. Yeah, I love me a potato. Last time I made a baked potato was a month ago, and love making those potatoes. I don't know why. If I ever were to make a taco for a reason, and I decided to chop it up and put it on my taco and have it that, then that'd be golden. I'd love that. One thing I would love to have is finally a conversation with Uzlu and a few of those guys because it's been like almost a year since I've talked to them on Hangouts. I'd be needing to have a chat with them about a few subjects that I have in mind. I don't know. I just find it strange that some people will talk to you if you're a small enough channel, but okay. Let me double check with Twitter. Huh. So, oh, okay. No potato is following me. All right. Let me double check the messages because I'm not entirely. Let me check. Oh, you want in? All right. I'll give you the link on Twitter. I may have to do it by DM because entirely. I don't like posting a link available on public because there are trolls out there that love to hijack Hangouts by explaining the feature where they can kick everybody else out, including the host. Oh, wrong link. I was about to post a wrong link. Whoops. All right. I'm hoping this link will work, but you should have it. Jesus, I'm getting sick again. Oh no. There. Oops, wrong place to post the link. I hate when that happens, but oh well. Thankfully, I deleted that link before anything else happened. But I'm finally on your Twitter page, No Potato, and I will post the link there. There. Anytime you want to hop on in and check your DM on Twitter, and it should be there. Also, please keep in mind that I can't. Please keep in mind that there's a possibility that this that this mic may not work out and may not be able to hear you for a while if you do hop on in. Let's see here. There we are. Oh, she's a lovely lady. Okay. Either way, that's fine by me. I don't really care that much, but sure, I'll let her on. Uh, Let's see here. Hmm. I'm just hoping that because last time I had people on, something weird happened and I couldn't hear that person and I couldn't hear that person. I wasn't so sure if I was plugging in the mics wrong or anything, but yeah. Uh,
Hello?
hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, it works.
Nice. I was terrified for a minute because last time I had a person hop on my Hangouts, this mic completely failed, and granted it's a new one, but it failed, and they couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear them.
Sad. I currently am out a laptop, but my phone seems to be working all right, so I'm here.
All right.
Oh, excuse me. So, what are we talking about? What's going on?
Uh, I usually structure my Hangouts in a random format, but I guess the topics can be about anything really. For right now, I'm talking about the reason on why sometimes when I eat tacos, that's always when bad shit happens with my family. Either that or some drama starts on YouTube and I'm inevitably dragged into it, even though I don't want to be dragged into that drama.
Man, if my drama revolved around eating tacos, my life would suck. I live in LA. We have tacos and it's great. So I'm sorry for that dilemma. I should associate tacos with bad things. Tacos are great things.
I, I know. I'm just a little annoyed because there are just times when I'm trying to make a video, then I get instantly like not 20, it's actually 5 or 7 people asking me about certain things that I'm not even interested in. When I tell them that I'm not interested in those things, then
Mm.
they get all upset.
I don't know what that's like. I'm not popular enough to have disagreements with people yet.
Yeah, I'm not that popular either. I have like 211 subs on YouTube. Um, the problem is, I hang out with a lot of people that are like, you have to talk about this subject, or else
Mm,
you're a simp and stuff of that nature.
that's lame. That's boring. That's pretty boring. Yeah, I've noticed there's a number of people who get real hung up on, I mean, it's easy to slip into an ideology or kind of not necessarily be entirely in an ideology, but start having the same habits as anyone who's in an ideology because it's just kind of natural for us as human beings to want to have that structure to, our beliefs and our thoughts. But it I think it makes life really boring if you're just super hung up and can't be flexible about what you want to talk about, what you talk about or think about.
Yeah, and I have to agree. And I guess what bugs me is how just annoying that some of those personalities can get when I really tell them that I'm not interested in this subject or I'm not interested in that sort of issue, and then
Like
they
what? Like what? Give me an example of like when this is happening. Because I'm sorry, I haven't really been like I'm new to everyone. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. But
it's
yeah, give me an example.
um there's a guy on Twitter. He's notorious for asking me these questions. I don't know if he changed his Twitter name yet, but his name goes by the name of Bob Reynolds, the MG42 Master. Granted, he probably changed his Twitter name because he does that every month. But he would notoriously ask me, "What do I think about veganism?"
Mm,
And he knows I'm an ex-vegan, and I usually tell him that I'm not particularly interested in talking about veganism anymore. Then he goes on a ramble of how I'm an unintelligible, ignorant man for not entertaining him on the topic, and
nice.
then he goes on to a rant of how it's people like me that are creating this weird global Holocaust that's worse than the Nazi Holocaust because all because I refused to talk to him about the veganism topic.
That's so annoying. I feel like especially with like the vegan thing, like the people like vegan gains, they're just kind of over like compensating for something. Like with vegan gains especially, it feels like he almost feels guilty about like how little seems to care about human life, and so he makes up for it by saying, "Oh, well, you eat hamburgers, you're just as bad," and that's why they get so tenacious about it. And yeah, it's totally irritating. I get you.
Yeah, and I guess it's really people of that nature that bugs me. That
Mm-hmm. I got so mad watching that debate with Rowing Millennial just because he was such an asshole. The whole thing was supposed to be about how shitty your behavior is. And he goes on Twitter and he tweets, "Oh, well, you can't have, a debate about one without debating the other." And then he spends the entire debate refusing to even talk about his behavior because he knows that it's bullshit and he can't defend it. It's indefensible. It's stupid. Sorry. I'm a little ranty.
nah, it's all right. I have to agree. I mean, when he was doing that debate with Roman Millennial, it's I really truly find it that I don't think Vegan Gaines is capable of having a conversation with someone he disagrees with because he just lets his emotional side take over. Then he starts rambling on of not incoherent gibberish to me.
I just don't think his point is actually to change anyone's mind. I think that he just uses other people as props for his ego. Veganism is just a means for him to feel like superior to people, and debating others is a way to exercise that superiority.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably the case.
Yeah, I don't know. He just seems like he's got his head up his ass more than anything.
Yeah, I think he does, and he's always been that way. Like, ever since I first heard of him when he and Repsion had a clash, and I I was kind of that was the first time I was exposed to vegan gains, and it was because of him that I left veganism, or he was one of the main reasons. But the mere fact that he wanted to record his dad having a stroke and Repsion sort of exposing that was kind of the final nail in the coffin for me when it came to veganism.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's tough because like as I've gone through this transition over the last couple of years, becoming kind of coming into the anti SJW or whatever you want to call this group. Um, but I've realized that like every group has its assholes. Every group has its vegan gains. Every like ideology, and it's just a matter of whether or not they mediate that with it, like whether they self-regulate. Like we will call each other out. The reason social justice is as bad as it is like Trout said in his recent video, they allow it to fester among themselves. That's how you end up with the bad apples taking over most of the territory.
Yeah, and right now I'm dealing with another rotten apple, not vegan gains, of course, but I'm trying to tackle traversable MGTOW, and man, oh man, I that is entirely different set of rotten apples there in that camp. But yeah, I have to definitely agree with you there. There's always going to be rotten apples for every group. Um, and this wasn't the first time I've dealt with rotten apples. Like I've dealt with AIU before, and Mr. Golfman. Granted, Golfman's a lot more of a monster than anyone else, and uh, and a few others.
I don't know anything about Golfman. What was that about?
Uh, I believe it was back at 2012 when it was a bit of a drama I had between me and him when I was a Christian before I became an atheist. And basically, he was this self proclaimed Christian who believed himself to be the second coming of Jesus. And he tried to incorporate that with
Yeah.
MGTOW and assert himself as a literal God person. And what he used to do is he used to tell his followers to flag down just about any criticisms that they find against him, and ironically enough, he and them lashed out each other and or bashed against each other, and because at the time I was a Christian and I knew that at the time he was not obviously a god. He's just being a loony, and ever since I criticized him, my channel, my old Christian channel, got flagged down,
That's lame.
and I lost 1,000 subs.
Shit.
Took me 4 years to get back to 200, and eh, still pissed off at him because he was notorious for also doxing his critics. He tried to dox an ex-Muslim just to shut him up. Apparently, the good
That's
news is with
yeah.
that ex-Muslim, he was in America, so he wasn't in the Middle East.
Hmm. I mean, but still, that's pretty fucked up.
And basically, now the good news is that he was finally kicked off of YouTube because he kept abusing the system, and but every now and then he does come back, but thankfully someone out there is just removing him off of YouTube he because he's a legitimate reason of why that person shouldn't be on YouTube, because he used to be one of those old time Christians that would love to dox, that love to false flag other people's dissenting opinions, and he
Hmm.
still does it when he comes back.
What a pain in the ass. No, I'm just learning how fucked up it is, like social media wise. I don't know about YouTube. I haven't had any dramas specifically on YouTube yet, but I've had bullshit on fucking Twitter recently, and like I've never done Twitter until I did YouTube. When I only started doing YouTube last year, so I've only been done starting to start doing Twitter in like the last 6 months. And there's this bitch from fucking high school who I didn't know she was doing it on Twitter. I knew she was doing it on Facebook, but she keeps like she's an SJW type, and she keeps like I haven't talked to her in years, but she keeps putting my name out there, and she keeps like accusing me of shit, and she keeps fucking like doxing me, and she even like told her she I quote unquote told her followers to track her down and fuck her up, and like Twitter won't do jack shit about it like at all. They removed one tweet, the one where it was a direct threat, and the rest of them with my name are still fucking out there. And then at the same time, in the last week, we've seen like how many people from our side of the fence get suspended for hurting somebody's feelings, saying something mean. It's so fucking frustrating. But yeah, I had no idea. Wild West out here.
Yeah, I definitely could imagine that could get frustrating, especially if real legitimate cases for people needing to be, removed,
Yeah, I
and
wouldn't care if she wasn't putting like my real name out there. That's the part that I'm even
ah,
looking for a job right now, and like people look up my name. There it is. Her accusing me of like hacking and shit. I work with computers. My employers aren't. It's not gonna be good for me. I don't know. I'm pissed off.
I see. And I'm not trying to be like Shibes, like I'm totally against Shibes, but I'm just saying that there are real legit reasons of some cases where some people really do need to be booted off of certain sites.
Well, I mean, it's just the double standard that's pissing me off because like they haven't even given her any kind of like consequence whatsoever. Like the one thing that they did was remove that tweet, and as far as she's concerned, she thinks that I hacked into her account and tried to like make a threat against myself because she doesn't understand that that reports don't necessarily get processed the same day that the tweet is reported. Like
I
she
see.
hasn't faced any consequences. But then at the same time, like Ranting Monkey got suspended for pissing off Cat Black. Like what the fuck, like it just the why is this person not getting any consequences when they're being obviously shitty, and this person who's being maybe shitty gets consequences like that, you know?
Mm, I see. And I don't know. You're definitely right about that. I've noticed lately that Twitter has this double standard where if someone on our camp makes a joke and Twitter overreacts and boots that guy off, then all suddenly if some random SJW feminist does something worse, like dox someone or and Twitter does nothing, and I don't know, just you're probably right. It does seem like they have a double standard issue.
I mean, I just don't. If they, well, someone at Twitter wants to explain it to me, I'm open to hearing some reasonable explanation. But so far, all I've gotten is radio static from about my problems. So I don't know.
Ah, well, obvious. Well, whenever I want to talk about feminism, that's the weird thing. Like with my case, some people will talk to me about the feminism sort of topic, but I've I've been on YouTube for a long enough point that I've already been bored with the feminism topic, and ironically, it's never with the topics I'm interested that people actually talk to me about on Twitter.
So what is it you want to talk about?
Uh, Taboo subjects that most people don't like talking about. I usually talk about that stuff on Twitter, and on Twitter, right now I'm trying to tackle the MGTOW sort of community and why I think it's kind of a sinking ship at this point.
Like,
And
yeah, that's. I think you're not the only one who feels that way.
yeah, there are a few others that do. It's just I'm kind of the loudest vocal voice about that. And I guess the reason being is because um, I was led to a lie originally from two MGTOWs in particular that they were kind of friends of mine, but the problem was they tried to paint MGTOW as this nice living community, but when I confronted them about Traversable and what he did, I both of them instantly said that I was a simp and I didn't understand anything, even though they told me everything that they knew about MGTOW. And from there on out, I just been more vocal against the radical MGTOWs.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think even from the beginning, no one took MGTOW like super seriously because I mean, the whole point of it, from my understanding, is they just want to go away and be left alone. And if how do you do that radically? How do you go take a radical timeout? you know, I just never understood it or could see it as anything other than kind of a farce.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to those radicals, they're just there's crazy ones that truly believe in certain things and they expect people to abide by to their standards or rules. Like I made a video criticizing Traversable because he has a habit of calling non-MGTOWs or other people in his camp pedos if they don't agree with him,
Oh boy.
and it's really of those MGTOWs I'm really am against, the ones that can't keep it to themselves and they have to put their middle finger in other people's business.
You know, I really liked again the video that Kraut made recently. Did you see it at all? The like the hour long drama video.
I actually haven't seen that one yet.
You should check it out. It's pretty good because he goes into like and the way I understand it, it makes a lot of sense of it doesn't really matter what the label is, MGTOW, feminist, whatever the fuck label you want to be under, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you're an honest person who can, engage in honest discourse, then you're chill. If you're a dishonest asshole who's going to call someone a pedophile because you have a different opinion than them and you want to discredit them and take away their platform, then you're a piece of shit. And I don't care if you're a MGTOW, a feminist, whatever, an anti-feminist, an anti-SJW, anyone who acts like that is fucked up, and I don't want anything to do with you. And it just we get so bogged down in the labels, like it's an extension of the identity politics in a way. And this isn't Kraut. This is me taking and running with what Kraut was talking about. It's an extension of, in my mind, an extension of identity politics where, you know, we just have to have labels. have to have labels where we can easily identify you're bad, you're good, you're whatever, and it's never going to be that simple.
Yeah, and I'd have to definitely agree with you there. Um, I guess my problem is I've been on YouTube since the beginning, 2005, I believe,
Oh damn.
and I've seen I've seen so many communities rise and fall. It's kind of ridiculous, and I noticed this, and I agree with you there. There's always going to be this assholes and those people, and I definitely agree with you there. My problem is sometimes it's harder for me to. I guess I don't know how to explain it. I guess my problem has always been just being able to just continue on into that sort of drama for a long enough time because I've already been on YouTube for far too long, past my expiration date. So, in fact,
Yeah, no, I mean it's just we're all human, and that's just like how we operate. We try and simplify things because how else are we expected to function in a world so complicated?
yeah, and I guess that's our natural tendency. We like to simplify things. It's I guess that's why Micro Media and a few others back in 2012 simplified the first SJWs back then. It made more sense um, because there was another name that was proposed for those feminists coming from Tumblr, but that was unpronounceable.
Most things at a Tumblr are.
Yeah, they were saying it was a Tumblr, and back then Macromedia said no, SJW, make it simple.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're efficient. We build great things through our efficiency, but it also has great pitfalls, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should probably get going. This has been a lot of fun, though. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome.
I will hopefully do this with you again sometime.
All right.
Take care. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. All right. Take care.
See ya.
That was a nice lady, and I had fun talking to her. But yeah, I guess that's my issue. I've been on the internet for far past my expiration dates. But I'll definitely take a look at Crown T's video. I'll definitely take a look at Crown T's video if I'm able. But yeah, I have been on the internet since not the internet, but on YouTube since 2005 in the beginning, and I've seen everything. I've seen so many communities rise and fall, and it's ridiculous. And I guess my problem is also that I come to expect certain things to occur to some communities, then that prediction normally comes true. Uh, let's check. I just want to check the Twitter to see if anybody else is interested. Uh, so far, no one else is interested, but just totally fine by me. But yeah, I may just retitle the Hangouts to Taco Madness with a dash of insanity with no potato, apparently. Because that was a fun conversation. Uh, let's see what's else on the agenda while I'm here for the time being. Well, uh, one thing I have been trying to consider is quite possibly. I don't know if this is a possibility, but I've been trying to ask other various YouTubers if I can use some of their music. Granted, the reason why I stayed away from music for the longest point is because YouTube can get very, very stingy about that if you do it incorrectly or without permission. And just, I the bottom line is, I miss the old days when you could use video and music together. I believe that was 2007 before, and that was before they had a crackdown on music and you could play whatever you like on music. And those are the fun days. In fact, that's the thing. Music companies don't generally mind if we use their music. The problem is it's YouTube overreacting and just assuming that if you use music, the record companies and music companies would flip out, even though that's not the case. In fact, I think it was one music company that was like totally fine with it, and they told YouTube that they're fine with this YouTuber using it. But YouTube didn't care, and they didn't want to take the risk, and just got rid of that YouTuber instantly. Man, let's see. Uh, let's see here. I guess another thing that I have been itching to have a decent conversation about is the possibility of me continuing on responding to the Steve Shibe surf content, because last time I've done that was a month and a half ago. Mm. Like the last video I made about Steve Shibes was a month and a half ago, and that was about 2 hours and 45 minutes long, I believe. And basically, that was just a big old collection of videos I've already done in the past, and I slapped them all up on the same video, which added up to 2 hours and 45 minutes. And yeah, I doubt I'll ever have a feminist respond to me, because they probably would see that as the literal incarnation of a devil, because I was extremely harsh against Shibes, just extremely. And now I feel compelled to make a video about him again, because I heard that he made a tweet about how he would rather befriend people that want to delete the opponent's channels, and that's basically all of our predictions coming true on how he wants dissenting opinions deleted, apparently. Ugh. Granted, if I ever do respond to Shives again, then I guess I'll be more satirical. Yeah. Getting tired again. Shoot. uh, what else is there to talk about? Hmm. Well, not much else to talk about, really. Like, I could bring up some old, boring drama that started at 2007, but I doubt anybody would want to hear that story. Um, One thing I've noticed lately is, ever since when I started criticizing MGTOWs on just the radical ones in particular, I get about 15 comments not every day, but just throughout a full week. and it's just usually them whining a lot. And that actually has made my hate mail series a lot easier because they're actually providing me with more hate mail to work with, and I'm totally fine with that, really. Which is really surprising, really, because when I became an atheist, I believe 4 years ago, whenever I used to criticize the Christians, I was I was expecting there would be dozens and dozens of hate mail from Christians, which I did get a few, but not dozens. But it's only until when I recently started criticizing MGTOWs a month ago, then all of a sudden I get like dozens of hate mail. A lot more than I ever did with the Christians. I always found that funny and strange at the same time. I truly do find that strange. Ugh. Oh, wrong person. Someone else is asking to join in. Let's see here. Oh, no, not this guy. He always asks to join the hangout, but no, he never shows up. There's no point in giving that guy a hangout. He always asks for a link, and I don't care what happens. He always at every time I give that man a link, it's like the 18th time, and he never shows up. So there's no point into giving you the link. I will not do it. And if you don't know what this guy is, his name is Bob Rental. An entirely different guy, but still just rather annoying. Uh, I guess I could also talk about in the meantime, at least until someone else wants to hop on in, is MG42 Pillbox. He's an old locale person that, yeah, that has recently resurfaced again, apparently. Now, if you don't know who that guy is, he's a young Earth creationist. Now, here's the thing: the skeptical community, or whatever you want to name it, or I don't know really, whatever you label it, has already moved away from the Christianity stuff. The problem is MC42 Pillbox is literally back in time. He refuses to he refuses to stop talking to the skeptics, and he keeps doing it over and over again. And now, granted, it's a good thing that we're questioning his beliefs, but we're dealing with a man that is so obsessed, so compulsive that no matter what you say and do, he'll never change his mind. And whenever you talk to him, you're going to have to get ready for like 18 messages or replies on your comments. He's completely compulsive. Now, I'm not saying we should ban him, which I don't think we should. Just let him talk what he wants. I'm just saying ignore the guy because his ideas were debunked so many times to the point where whenever he shows up, it's just a rather annoyance that people should just leave that guy alone and not entertain him. Granted, I don't think ignoring him is working either because he keeps popping up and saying that you can't prove that rainbows are not created by gods, and he always does it on a video when it's not even related to religion. Like I made a video debunking the feminist patriarchy in that subject, and all of a sudden comes MG42 Pillbox and say you can't prove that the rainbow was not created by God, and he says this 48 times in their comments and or my comments, and I'm there thinking like Jesus, man, like the, the video is not even about God; it's about why the feminist patriarchy thing doesn't exist, and it's people like that I don't particularly like. Now, I've never blocked anybody, but he's the one person, or he's the one person I came closest to blocking because when I get a comment, I expect some disagreement and some dialogue. But whenever he comments, it's like you magically get like 48 notifications, and you're thinking, "Yay, I can finally talk to people." Nope, one person spanning the same message. You cannot prove that rainbows are not created by God over a topic that I'm, and he always does it on a video that on a video that's not even related to religion, apparently. Oh well. And I guess the reason I'm talking about that guy is because yesterday he did it again, but this time not so much on the video of me criticizing the feminist patriarchy myth. It was over uh, one of my response videos to Angry MGTOW. Then, and even a few MGTOWs in the comment sections were like, "What the fuck? This isn't even. We're not even talking about religion. We're talking about MGTOWism and stuff." But oh well, he's a crazy dude, and he already blocked me, and he deleted his account again for the I don't think it's time because nobody gives a shit about him. And he'll probably be back in a few months later, and he's just a delusional man that thinks that he just deletes his own account, leaves for a few months, and comes back, and everybody forgets who he was. Nope, nobody forgets what he did. Nobody, especially when he was helping XF Fang or on that whole doxing cruise. I guess that's my pain, or not pain, curse. I've been on YouTube for so long, I remember so much that I feel like I should have quit at 2009, but I kept on going. Maybe I'm too old to be a YouTuber. Like, you get what I mean? It's like that can of beans that you leave on the shelf for too long and it's expired. And I feel like I'm becoming that expired beans. That I've just feel that I've been on YouTube for so long that maybe I should just quit YouTube because I've been here so long and I've fallen so far. Because now, granted, I don't care much about popularity, but the exception is that when I got my channel flagged down, like it's taken me literally 4 years to get back to 200 subs, and or 2 years or 4 years to get to 200 subs, and and I and that was with my atheist channel. With my Christian channel, I gained 1,000 subs pretty quick, under a month. And I guess that feeling can, especially with me, it can really just make me feel that I that I should give up because. But then again, I can't because it's like a curse in my mind. Uh, I don't know. Maybe if the new content I've been doing, I've been calling the MGTOWs, maybe that'll get me back to 1,000. But I doubt it. Again, I don't care that much about popularity these days anymore. But it's still a shocking thing that it took me 4 years to get back to 200 as an atheist. But when I was a Christian, it only took a month to get to 1,000. I always found that sort of thing to being just surprising. Oh, how old am I? My my time's always old. I guess I'm older than I speak, but I'm actually 29. Actually, it's 20. Yeah, I believe it was 29. I believe. And But yeah, I've been on the internet and YouTube for a very long time. Still questioning if I should even continue doing YouTube because it's like because I feel like that's just and I just feel like that's maybe I've reached my expiration date in a sense, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm almost close to my 30s. Hmm. But I usually see myself as an old person because, at least in terms of YouTube, because I've been around for way longer than I feel like I should be on YouTube. Ah, you're 56. Yeah, you're definitely older. You're definitely older. But what I mean about being old is that, at least in terms of being YouTube, really, because most of my friends that started out in 2005 stopped making YouTube by, I believe, 2011. So most of my friends are gone. And back then at 2005, between then and 2011, I used to use YouTube as a means to communicate with each other because we didn't keep contact with each other through phone or mail for that matter. Granted, are a few of my friends that I did con that I kept talking to each other through email, but yeah. And ever since a certain drama of Golf Man, it's just yeah, that's always that's always soured my taste for Christianity. Now, granted, before Golf Man came around and went crazy over me, I was having doubts of my religion at the time, and if Golfman never existed, I would still be. I'm pretty sure I would still become an atheist. But when Golfman came around, he kind of pushed me over in such a way that I got really angry and emotional because that guy did a lot of unethical things like flagging off my entire YouTube channel, starting to dox any supporters I had at the time, and not to mention he used to try and blackmail other people to flag other people's channels. And I guess if Golfman never existed, I guess I would still be an atheist. But the only difference is I wouldn't be so angry against the Christian community that I am now. Sometimes that's actually a big reason why I have a bit of an anger issue with the Christians sometimes because I mean all I did was I made one video criticizing Golfman, and all of a suddenly, not only I lose my channel, any fans I had that tried to defend me were being threatened to being doxxed. And the surprising thing was I was told that the Christian community was a loving community, but when I encountered Golfman, that really soured my taste for any Christianity on the internet, especially when he had his preferred form of Christianity where he was the supposed second coming of Jesus, man. What time is it? Oh, it's 11:43 where I'm at. Huh. I don't feel tired yet. Strange. Uh, let's see here. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of why I have an anger issue with the Christians because one of them in particular went crazy over me, and uh, surprisingly enough, that guy will never leave me alone. He'll come back eventually in a few months, harass me some more, then eventually get kicked off somehow by someone. And he's turned into this troll. And the problem is you can't ignore him because the last time he came around, he somehow found a way to dox my old dead girlfriend. Not a very good person to even be having a conversation with, but still, he always finds a way to get to people, and that's what bugs me about him. Especially when he considers himself this untouchable Christian slash MGTOW God person. And all that started from 2012, I believe. What else is there to talk about? Uh, Let me check Twitter again. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any messages. Oh, let's see here. Uh, so far, not much. Not that much. Hmm. I am making a response to Red Pill Ghost. Now, don't get confused with the Red Pill documentary. They're two separate entities. I'm not talking about the movie per se, but I am talking about the Red Pill Ghost, an actual YouTuber that runs that name apparently. Uh, but he's a delusional, crazy man. So hopefully, I can use the new overlays on that sort of thing. Now, the reason why I'm not editing that video right now is because I've actually asked a YouTuber if I could use some of their music, and I'm still waiting on whether or not is it okay for them or not to do that. Because this is the first time I'm actually asking for someone to uh, borrow their music for a video. Because last time I've done any musical stuff, it was way back before 2007. It was around 2006 and 5. Or actually 6, come to think about it. And I guess a big reason is because eventually YouTube did crack down against against just YouTube really did crack down against people just using random music clips or soundtracks for that matter. And ever since then, I've been paranoid about using music. A bit, a bit paranoid indeed. What else is there to talk about? Hmm, let's see here. Looks like Geek Cthulhu and Xander did join my Discord, which is fun. Sweet. Eh, I've been doing Discord for a while, and I finally got the guts to actually make a Discord server for myself and for all the friends I have. And I set it up in such a way where nobody can hijack it, which is cool. Kudos to me, I suppose. Uh, you know what? I'm going to make that video. I'm going to make that video on why I shouldn't ever quit on YouTube. I might as well. I keep telling myself I shouldn't, but might as well. Let's see here. Let's see here. Checking on Twitter for other things. Mismatches on. Oh shoot! The loud noise has returned again, and now I have to find a way to just. Oh, never mind. I was about to just close down that laptop, but I guess not. Huh? Freaky. Let's see here. Checking mismatches in order of the coffee bean. That's a downside of having a Discord account. If you don't look into the messages, they email you, and suddenly your email is filled with Discord missed messages. That gets rather annoying when I'm looking for a very specific email or two. It gets rather annoying. Ew. Well, I might as well end the hangout now because I'm getting tired. And thank you all for watching. And that was a really nice conversation I had with No Potato. That really was. And and also it was nice having a chat with the side chat as well, and all that really. Still contemplating on whether or not I should even continue being YouTube because I feel like I'm gone past my expiration dates on a on how old a chat on how old a person presence on YouTube should be. Still trying to decide about that. But anyways, see you all next video or hangouts. And I try to do these hangouts occasionally, like once a week or twice a week. Just give other people a chance to have a conversation with me if they ever want to. It's really up to them. But anyways, see you all next video or hangouts.